to kick the field goal. First of all, if I make McDaniel, I ought to kick that field goal to tie the record. Because, see, here's the thing, though, Stephen A. See, when I beat you bad like this, I do you a favor. I let you know from top to bottom, you're not good enough. Whoever picked this talent, you're not good enough. The coaches, you're not good enough. The talent on the field is not good enough. That's what that told me yesterday. The first time in NFL history, you got 300 yards passing, 350 yards passing, 350-yard rushing. A guy goes over 200 yards on 18 carries?
Yes.
70 points with 8 minutes to go? Now, hold on. Sean Payton came in here with his chest all out. That was the worst coaching exhibition I had ever seen.
About Nathaniel Hackett last season.
Yes.
Yes.
And you just got 70 dropped on your dome. A 50-piece and 20 extra flats at no charge. A 70 spot. This is unacceptable. What is so embarrassing to me is that all the hype that came around, all this money you making. The Peter Walton family has spent an enormous amount of money. It's not good enough. And stop telling me it's not Russell's fault. I'm not saying that it is Russell's fault, but Russell is allowed to score more than 20 points. Just because the other team scores 70, that doesn't mean that you can't. The Broncos right now, the talent is not good enough. The coaching is not good enough. The scouting department is not good enough. The only thing good enough is the owners, because they've invested a ton of money to build this roster, to get the best coaches, and that yesterday was unacceptable.
I wanted you to get that off your chest because as a two-time champion with the Denver Broncos, as a champion with the Denver Broncos, you deserve it, and I understand that. I'm going to get to Miami in just a second. What I want to say is this, though. Sean Payton coached in the National Football League for 15 years with the New Orleans Saints.
Yes.
And he won a Super Bowl championship, and he was, he made it to the playoffs an abundance of time with Drew Brees as his quarterback. He never experienced anything like this. So, again, as awful as it is, 15 years coaching in the National Football League where it's never happened. I mean, damn, we didn't see this coming, okay?
70 points has only happened 4 times.
I agree.
In the 100-plus years,
I'm not trying to absolve him. I'm just saying 15 years, it was a bad day. I'm sorry. And this hurts me because I'm about the brothers being coaches. Vance Joseph, defensive coordinator. I mean, damn, this should be a very, very hard day for you. Yeah. I mean, the fellas on the defensive side of the ball, you are a national embarrassment. A national embarrassment. Did you see the ease with which Miami scored? Did you see the shuffle passes? Did you see
the man doing no-look Magic Johnson?
No-look Magic Johnson passes. This is what he was doing. Twice! Not once, twice! He did it twice, right?
Just in case you missed the first one.
Not only that, but on top of it all, you saw running backs running with the football. I mean, the lanes were wider than Broadway on a Sunday morning.
At least
Broadway on a Sunday morning.
Pinch him as he go by. You ain't got to tackle him, pinch him.
They did nothing. Having said all of that's true. Didn't I tell you about Miami? Didn't I come on the air about a week ago and I was like this? I want to see this team in the Super Bowl. It's the most exciting offense in football right now. I want Tua to stay healthy. Oh, by the way, I didn't even bring this up. They dropped the 70 without Waddle.
Without
Jalen Waddle. I mean, he wasn't around. He wasn't waddling around. He wasn't even there. I could not believe what I saw. But I got to tell you something. With that being said, I'm looking at Miami right now. I told y'all Tyreek Hill's the scariest player in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
He's unguardable.
Yes.
He's undefendable. I mean, this brother is something special. Tua with the deep ball, we get all of that. But I'm looking at these other cats running with the football. I mean, Monster and these boys.
Can run.
They can run the football.
They got track speed.
They have a running game.
Yes.
They clearly have a passing game.
Yes.
You have to score 30 most times. Most nights, you got to score 30 in order to beat the Miami Dolphins. And my Lord, I just, right now, I don't see, you got to show me somebody that can mess with them. Buffalo next week, we're going to see, but you got to show me somebody that can mess with them. They are special.
The thing that you hope for if you play Miami, you hope for inclement weather because you know that's a team that want to spread it around and want to throw the football all over the place.
So they got to get home field advantage, Miami.
But it rains.
But it does rain in Miami. Yeah.
But, New England, I think they've already played, maybe they played the Pats. It could be cold weather. Buffalo, it could get really cold. New York, it could get really cold. So you're hoping the elements come into play. But on a fast track, and if it's just, let's just say for the sake of argument, it's just 20 degrees, and there's no wind, and there's no rain, oh, you're going to catch hell beating that team.
Yeah.
And your offense, because what your offense is doing, you're not competing against their defense. You're competing against Miami's offense because they put so much pressure on you to replicate what they do. It's kind of like playing the Patriots in 2007 or the Broncos in 2013. You had to score 35, but you couldn't beat them.
Yeah.
Well, that's Miami. You've got to get how do you get to 30 plus and beat this team?
For the season, the Miami Dolphins have the 6th fastest ball carrier speeds in the league. 3 by Tyreek Hill, 2 by Devon Arcane, and 1 by Raheem Mostert. And Jalen Waddle gives Miami NFL's top 4 by 100 relay team. I mean, this is who they are.
Yes.
This is what they bring to the table right now. And I'm just telling you, of course they can score in bunches. Of course they're prolific. Now, you got to hope for inclement weather. You got to be about the business of putting a hat on Tua.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's susceptible to that. Okay. And by the way, all right, Vic Fangio coaching that defense now. I mean, the man knows what he's doing.
Right.
So now let me get back to Denver because I feel compelled to do this. Somebody got to say it, so I'm going to say it. Now, I have joked that the only thing good that Russell Wilson has brought to Denver is Sierra. I have joked about that, okay? His lovely, wonderful wife, talented wife. But I will say this a step further in all seriousness. This team ain't feeling him.
No.
He doesn't move anybody. Listen, Pete Carroll is looking great these days.
Yes.
Because we see how Russell Wilson has looked with him. We see how Russell Wilson has looked without him. And we see how Geno Smith has looked with him. Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, once destined for the Hall of Fame. We are now looking, I say this respectfully because he is a Super Bowl champion and 2 Super Bowl appearances, okay? We are looking at Russell Wilson right now, and we are saying to ourselves, oh, so that's why you were Legion of Boom and get rid of Brandon Staley and took that job.
Right.
Because I don't know if Sean Payton can fix this mess in Denver. I really don't know.
Well, the reason why Russ doesn't galvanize anybody because they saw Russ for what he was and who he was last year. It was about Russ. He wanted an office like he was a coach. He wanted to be treated different. He acted different. And everybody, Shannon, how do you know? How do you know this?
Please, they would ask that dumb
I
question.
know everything.
About Denver?
I know
Hell
everything.
Yes.
If I don't know everything, Stephen A.
But you know everything about the Denver Broncos.
I know a little bit about everything, though. I'm going to leave it at that.
Do you know this?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know that Mike McDaniel used to be a ball boy for Denver?
He was a ball boy. I had left and gone to Baltimore at the time. So that was in 2000. I had just left and went to Baltimore. Because I wondered why I was like, I don't remember him. But he's from Kyle Shanahan.
Right.
He's from that tree. And what do Kyle Shanahan do? Run the football. What does Mike McDaniel do? Run the football. He just has more speed to run it with than what Kyle. But they're going to run the football, and guess what? Now they play fake you, and Tyreek is wide open. Those receivers are wide open.
Mike McDaniel looks special right now as an offensive mind. He just lets them go out there, create space. He knows their speed and athleticism is going to take control of the situation, and it is what it is. But I tell you right now, only an ignorant troll would question what you know about the Denver Broncos. That's just dumb. That's just flat out dumb.
But you know what? I get it. I get it. Protect your guy. Molly, you know, when you're in the locker room, you galvanize, you put, oh, that's my guy. He's not like that.
Right.
Bro.
Once a coach, always a coach. I love it. Just right to it. It was a little confusing, though, because I'm calling you coach and then how I teed up that sound. So I'm not going to put that on you, but it was a funny moment. But do you think it makes sense to stick with Zach Wilson?
I mean, it does, and people are going to go crazy. Oh, there's no way it does. They don't have any money to bring anybody in. All right, they went all in with the Aaron Rodgers, and I was glad they did because it gave them a chance to go for it all. Okay, now you got to come back and realize that help's not on its way. It has to be done internally. The kid was a second overall pick for a reason. Nobody can question that he has NFL arm talent. Nobody can question that he has mobility. We can question everything else about the kid, but that's it. So we're going to have to sit back and structure our offense around it. You heard Robert talk about we knew there were going to be a little growing pains with the offense and all that because it wasn't going to be familiar with everybody. But guess what? Now you don't have that quarterback. So you've got to center your offense around what you do have, and that's Zach Wilson. Let's get him on a move a little bit, and we got to find out who we are running the football. You know, I see a couple of things. Are we a zone team? Are we a duo team, which is doubling guys at the point? That's what they need to figure out as well. You got to run the football. You got to win a little differently. And I think if I'm Robert Saleh, I go in and I challenge not just the offense, I'm challenging my defense. I'm challenging my defense to be great, not to be good. Good enough, that was okay. We had to get those strides last year. We got to be great and put it on the guys that can handle it.
Yeah.
They need to be able to handle it. That's what I'm going to do if I'm Robert Saleh.
Stephen A.?
No, Steve, let me go.
Go ahead, please.
Rex, I heard you said the guy was the number 2 pick in the draft. There's no question he has arm talent. There's no question that he has mobility. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, I own a bank. He's a hard worker. He comes to work on time, but he's a thief. How's that going to work out for me?